Friends, and welcome back to my channel. My name is David, and today I have a video that is, as always, loosely inspired by the wonderful Michael K. Vaughan. See, he is a wonderful channel. You probably already subscribe to him. If you don't, you should definitely do so. But he is notorious for reading challenges, taking on way more challenges than anybody has any right to try to accomplish. And I've had mixed success in the past with doing challenges of various degrees. However, I figured it'd be fitting to give myself two big goals to start working towards over the next calendar year. So starting May 1st, I'm going to start two different reading projects. I'm going to give myself an open timeline, but I'm going to shoot for 12 months. So the first involves the books that go in this massive slipcase here. So that is the 3-volume set of the history of Middle-earth. This is 12 books in all. And that is part of why a 12-month timeline makes a lot of sense here. So in the past, I've read the Book of Lost Tales Part 1 and started Part 2, but I'm going to start afresh because it's been a little while, and it's Tolkien, so it's always good to read. So I'm going to work my way through. Starting in May, I'm going to do just one book a month, and just chip away at this. So I'm going to be in Part 1 for 5 months, and then Part 2 for 4 months after that, and then wrap up Part 3 for 3 months after that. I think that'll be really rewarding because that is the major Tolkien milestone in terms of reading that I have not climbed upon. And it's one that I really want to get around to. It's intimidating because I can look at it and be like, well, in the time it's going to take me to read those 3 volumes, I could read like 40 other books off my shelf if I just pick small things that are quick and easy. But I don't need to do that. So I'm going to make sure it's something worthwhile. And speaking of things that I've wanted to do for a long time and just haven't accomplished, I would like to get through all of Shakespeare. Rereading Hamlet back in February reminded me just how much I really enjoy this. And so there's 40, 42, something like that in terms of plays and, dividing poetry probably across 2 weeks. If I do a play a week, that gives me a buffer of 2-3 months in there for the plays that stretch longer than a week. And it should be doable. But I'd love to just make my way through here. And I'm just going to start at the beginning and work my way through with 2 predetermined breaks in between. I forgot to grab them. But that's okay. I don't need them. So it opens up with the comedies. So there's a lot of comedies. 3, 6, 9, 13 different comedies. So that's about 3 months worth of reading right there. Once I get done with that, I've got a book called Shakespeare's Kings, which I think is a fitting read prior to jumping into the histories, which is the next block of plays that are in there. So I'll read Shakespeare's Kings across 2-3 weeks, and then dive into the histories, where I've got another 10 plays right there. And then that gives me another natural pausing point there. And I've got A Year in the Life of Shakespeare. I believe it covers 1599 by James Shapiro. And so that would be my other Shakespearean book that is on my shelf as a palate cleanser. Before then, I jump into the tragedies, romances, and the poems. So that's my reading plan, starting in May. I'm going to be reading other things, of course, but I'm probably going to lean harder into the very short things. things that can be picked up and completed in a quick amount of time, such as the other 5 books in the Chronicles of Amber, chipping away at those. The other 3 books in the Fafhrd and Grey Mouser series. Elric books. And short stories like anything by Robert E. Howard. I've got all kinds of anthologies here of short stories. Those are all going to make good things to delve into along the way to give myself palate cleansers in between the Tolkien and the Shakespeare. But if you have any recommendations on other Shakespeare-related books, if everything goes really well, I'll still have a couple weeks at the end. And so I'll want to find some other Shakespeare-related book. Steve Donahue, I'm sure you've got all kinds of recommendations, so email me some of those. I'll keep an eye out. And yeah, there's my 2 big reading projects I'm going to start May 1st. And they're going to knock off 2 of the big things that I've been wanting to do for quite some time, but just haven't gotten around to. The other really big thing that I'm in the middle of is getting through War and Peace, which I should be able to accomplish by the end of May. So yeah, there we go. Hi, we'll catch you later.